Hi Facebook friends, Tim Lerch here. I'm going to do today a little lesson on a venerable old tune called Autumn Leaves. And I'm going to do 2 chords per measure, 2 inversions of the basic changes. And then I'm going to melodicize those chords. Now, I have a PDF, a 2-page PDF written out for this thing, and I'd like to share it with you. And what I'd like you to do, if you want the PDF, is go to my website and make a small donation. It doesn't have to be much, just whatever you can afford comfortably. There's a PayPal button right there on the lessons page, or even on the very first page, on the home page, there's a PayPal button as well. Got to make sure we see the PayPal button. And then I'll send you the PDF so you can benefit from the written instruction as well. Okay, so here's the thing. It's in the key of G minor, which is one of the 2 main keys that Autumn Leaves gets played in. And I'm going to play through what's on the page. So I have 2 voicings for C minor, 2 for F7 or F9, 2 for B flat major, 2 for E flat, 2 for A minor, D7, and then 4 for G minor, or sorry, for G minor, 2, and then 2 for G7. That's 8 bars. I'll do that part again without any talking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continuing on to the next 8, the same chords again, but this time using some different voicings. Sorry. This time 4 G minors. And then we get to the bridge. A minor 7, flat 5, D7, G minor 7, G minor 7, 4 of them this time. Now we're on the middle set instead of the top set. Some old friends here. And then this descending chromatic part. These are basically what I think of as V2, voicing group 2, also known as drop 2 for the most part, in various inversions. My guide is typically the melodic content involved in the movement. That's what I listen for, what's happening in the upper voice. And of course, if you're playing this in the context of music, you're going to want to play, comping style with a nice rhythmical feel and some rhythmical motifs rather than just doing them 2 beats per, like I did here. Maybe I can do that, give you a suggestion. So at that tempo, 1, 2, 1. something along those lines. I think it's important not to worry too much about that part of it when you're learning something new. You just want to do it straight and square until you really feel like you have the fingerings, and then start to explore variations and things. Okay, sometimes we as guitar players, we're too eager to get to the cool part before we've really learned the fundamental thing. And so I would just encourage you to spend some time with the page prior to trying to be too fancy with it. Okay, now, as promised, I'm going to play the first two eighths with some melodic extensions. Now, how I mark them is on the page I put the black dots in the grid, represent the chord as usual, little black dots on a chord grid, and then I put an X after or on the grid somewhere, which indicates that's the melody note that you play while the chord is ringing. So you want to play the chord, let it ring, and then play the X. Sometimes you have to let a note go. A lot of times you have to let a note go in order to play the X. But just think of the X as another quarter note. So we've got 2 beats per chord grid, and then the X is the second quarter note while the other ones ring. I'll try and play this. That's this. Okay. The idea is you hold the chord down and then you move the melody. One of the things I've noticed about comping in this sort of trio style or comping for a soloist is it's very easy to get distracted by chords and rhythms and forget that what most people listen for and hear are melodies. So sometimes when I hear people comping guitar players, they might be interesting voicings, they might be interesting chords, but the melodic continuity or the flow of the comping line is missing. Now this one might be a little bit too scaly, diatonic, but it's a start to try and figure out how to play chord voicings and then move a melodic line. So in tempo maybe, or in a context, we might have something like this. I haven't tried to do this yet, so I'm taking a little bit of a chance, but here goes. Didn't get that right very well. Okay, there's G minor there at the end. So that's an idea of what you can do with this page. Now I left the second part of this second page with the additional melody notes, I left it blank so that you could maybe in pencil or something explore some melodic extensions of your own. This is on the B and the C section of the tune. And of course, you don't have to do it on every one. You notice I left a few just with the chord ringing. Too much is often not such a good thing. A little bit goes a long way with this. Maybe I overdid it even with mine. But I would just encourage you to try and play around with that kind of thing. Okay, now I'm going to do something just extemporaneously on this tune. I'm using some of these moves, but also just sort of playing off the top of my head so I can show you an example of how I might use some of this material. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I hope that was interesting for you. Now remember, if you want the PDF, just go to my website and click on the donate button. To make sure I know which one you're wanting, go to the email page and send me a little email that says you want the Autumn Leaves Comping lesson page. Okay, enjoy, and thank you for all of your continuing support and interest in what I'm doing. And let me know, send me a note about what you think you might like me to do for future lessons or song arrangements and things. Okay, take care.